I find it interesting that genres of games are always coming into and out of vogue, where seemingly multiple developers all at the same time are making the same style of game. Remember several years back when MMOs were all the craze? Or more recently, the surge of MOBA games. And now, this year, it's the hero shooter. Team Fortress 2 inspired games with hero character classes that all have unique abilities and fill specific roles. Every single game on this list is defined by those things, but they each also have something that makes them unique and special. Here in this video, we're gonna talk about what makes each of these games different and also list them in order of my most anticipated. So with that said, let's jump into the top 5 most anticipated hero shooters of 2016. Starting us off at number 5, we have Paladins, being developed by Hi-Rez Studios, who you may know for their recent success with Smite. This game, like many on the list, has a cartoony art style, although this particular one has kind of a washed out watercolor feel to it. Visually, it's one of my least favorite games on the list. The game modes included so far are Siege, a capture and push mode, Payload, where one team pushes and the other team attempts to stop them, and then Survival, with every person having 1 life per round. There are mounts in this game allowing you to travel quickly from objective to objective, or to get back into the action fast after you died. Which is good because a lot of these maps are fairly large in size, so mounts seem needed. There's also a card system which makes this unique. Cards allowing you to alter your champion and specialize in certain things, whether you want to be more tanky, modify your damage, steal some life, or even alter your character's abilities. 14 champions currently available. This number is likely to change. In fact, every game on this list is still going through development, so things are subject to change. When it comes to Paladins, I think it's good, but not great. Given though that it's gonna be a free-to-play game, it's probably gonna be worth checking out. If you like the idea of a hero shooter, this is one of the least expensive entries into the genre. So Paladins, while not my favorite hero shooter, seems pretty good, and it might be worth giving a look. Moving on to number 4 is Gigantic, being developed by Motiga, a development studio I never heard of before. In fact, after doing some research, I think that this would probably be their first really successful game. At least I think it has the opportunity to be. I actually struggled with placing this at number 4 because I'm really excited about giving this game a look. It dips its toes into the MOBA genre a little bit more than some of these other titles, but it is still very much so a hero shooter at its heart. In fact, it's a third-person hero shooter, which is the first thing that makes this game unique. Also, it looks really good. Out of all the cartoony style games here on this list, this is my favorite looking one of those. It's just a very unique and distinct art style that I think is visually pleasing to my eyeballs. It's not too over-cluttered, which is probably partially benefited by the fact that it's played in the third-person perspective. The map's objectives are focused on these giant guardians, and teams have to work together to weaken the enemy guardian, powering up their own and allowing them to attack. There's also various creature summoning spots where you summon these powerful creatures that give you buffs and act as guard dogs for a specific zone. Currently, there are 2 different maps available in the game with more planned, and something also setting this apart is the focus on verticality and hidden passages. The maps have several layers to them. It's not just one flat static plane and multiple lanes. Get your ranged characters up high to shoot down on the melee characters, or you can sneak through these hidden passages with your melee dudes attacking the enemies from behind. 16 heroes are currently available in the game, but one of the biggest marks against Gigantic, which I think will really hurt it in the long run, is that on PC it is a Windows 10 exclusive. Ugh. That's fine for me because I have Windows 10 and I'm okay with it, but being exclusive to a particular version of an operating system is certainly going to hurt the player base, because some people don't have Windows 10, don't want Windows 10, even if it's a free upgrade. And when you hurt the player base of a multiplayer focused game, that obviously hurts the longevity of the game. Now that aside, I am still very much so excited about Gigantic. I really like third-person games, and I'm so excited to give this one a look. On to number 3 is Battleborn from 2K Games, the company behind Borderlands. And there is a very big Borderlands feel to this game. The inspiration is clear. It's got an over-the-top art style with a comical slant. Lots of funny and interesting personalities. Hell, even the narrator made me laugh out loud in several games. Visually, it is very bright, but also quite a bit cluttered. This is a game that I think could have benefited from being a third-person game like Gigantic is. There is so much going on at the screen at any given time that unless you're very familiar with all of the characters and all their abilities, it's really tough to figure out what the heck is going on. The main gameplay mode has you pushing with waves of NPCs towards an enemy sentry. There's also along the way these various static buildings like turrets, accelerators, and healing stations that you can level up with crystals that you find on the map. Those crystals are also used for the gear system. Gear is accumulated outside of the game, and then you pick a loadout of 3 pieces that you can purchase with those crystals in a match, making your character more tanky, more powerful, whatever, kind of similar to Paladin's card system, a method to alter the way your character plays. Something that really makes Battleborn distinct here in this list is a single-player mode, with a story and everything. That's something that all of these games, as far as I'm aware, are missing, but Battleborn has. Battleborn also has the biggest roster, coming in right now at 25 heroes. I think Battleborn plays very well, and it's got a great style to it. It's got, again, great comedy. I really like it, and I think it deserves this number 3 spot. Moving up the list onto number 2 is Lawbreakers, from Boss Key, a brand new studio founded by Cliff Bleszinski of Epic Games. You know the company, Gears of War. Cliff's made good games before, and it looks like his new studio is in the process of making a good one right now. Lawbreakers focuses on 2 factions, the Law and the Breakers. It's rooted in an alternate futuristic version of America that's been ripped apart and torn asunder by gravity. There are symmetrical class roles for both sides, with there currently being 5 character classes and more to come. Now, the gameplay mode that I've seen so far was called Overcharge, and it's kind of a new take on Capture the Flag. Both teams fight for control of a battery that they take back to their base and try to charge to 100%. Something cool about Lawbreakers is its focus on tactical and thought-out gameplay. Now, this comes in 2 main forms. Number 1, there's no recharging health, and in order to get your health back after you've been damaged, you have to go to these strategically placed healing stations, which, as one would assume, will be hotly contested, because everyone wants to heal. And then secondly, there's this focus on the gravity alteration. As we mentioned, it's futuristic America that's been torn asunder by gravity. 0G zones allowing for propulsion, gravity grenades allowing you to slow up your enemies, and grappling hooks, maneuverability, and strategically placing your character in a beneficial position. Oh, also, the game has rocket jumping, which almost propelled it to the number 1 spot. Lawbreakers is one of the titles on this list that I haven't played yet, but I'm so excited to give a look. It looks fantastic, it's got a more realistic style to it, it's got a bit of an edge, and it seems to play very nice. And now for the number 1 most anticipated hero shooter of 2016, it is Overwatch. Call me a Blizzard fanboy, but they know how to polish games, and it is the polish that really sets Overwatch apart. It's got a cartoony style with a bit more shine, kind of a Pixar look to it, and its main gameplay modes are area capture and payload with variations on those both. There are health pickups across the map as well as healing classes, 21 different playable heroes which are split into 4 roles, offense, defense, tank, and support, and 12 maps. Now, something I noticed when I was making this list and decided to put Overwatch at number 1 is that Overwatch doesn't have any extra frills. There's nothing fancy going on. There's no AI, there's no super special objective or mechanic that you have to trigger. It's just the map and your heroes, and you go at it. But I think it's because of Blizzard's polish and just how good it feels to play the game that it deserves this number 1 spot. Yeah, there's some extra things, like you can get skins and emotes for your character to customize your favorite heroes, but it's really just all about the gameplay and the heroes and how you utilize the map. Nothing fancy, no special mechanics, no AI to attack. It's simple, but it's good. And for those reasons, and because of the polish and how good it feels to play, Overwatch is the number 1. Alright guys, that does it here for my top 5 most anticipated hero shooters of 2016. Please feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I'm sure there'll be people out there who disagree with my list. Do you think another game should be on here? Do you disagree with the order? Let me know what you think below. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.